What's up, Tech Squad? Andru Evers here, editor-in-chief of GearLive.com, and today I am bringing you another video giving you a look at how to speed up your system using an SSD. Now listen, I know SSDs were prohibitively expensive a few years ago, and even over the past year or two, they were still kind of up there in price, but now here at the end of 2016 going into 2017, the prices are coming down. They're actually very fairly priced, but you still get that performance boost that you were getting previously, and actually you're getting an even higher performance boost than you were getting a couple of years ago. So the price has come down, the performance has stayed the same or gotten better, and so we're gonna use an SSD today to speed up some game consoles. Now this is a popular topic that I've covered in the past, and people always have questions when I do the video. And when I see a bunch of questions on previous videos, I always wanna do a follow-up to give people the answers that they're asking for. So the SSD we're using today is gonna be the WD Blue. This is from Western Digital. It's their new SSD line. Big shout out, by the way, to Western Digital for sending over the WD Blue, for sponsoring this video, and for making it possible for me to speed up a couple of game consoles by using it. So one question I've gotten in the past is, why use an SSD to speed up a game console? Isn't the internal drive faster than going external? Why can't I just use a regular, cheaper external drive? And the answer is that SSDs are faster, and they'll be even faster than the internal spinning drive of your game console. In fact, on the inside of those major game consoles, you're gonna find a 5400 RPM spinning drive. And quite honestly, it's pretty slow. So slow, in fact, that this SSD right here is about 5 times faster than the drive you'll find inside your PlayStation 4, your PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox One S, etc. Now, the other thing I've seen in the past is people were worried, okay, this looks pretty technical. You're telling me to buy an internal SSD, but we're hooking it up externally, and it's kind of confusing, but it's not confusing at all. In fact, it's very simple. So let me show you how it's done. And you really only need 2 things. First, you need the drive. So again, I've got the WD Blue SSD here. I'm using a 500 gigabyte SSD. They also have a 250 gigabyte version, and they have a 1 terabyte model. So depending on how much storage you're looking for, buy the one that matches up with what you need. So of course, if you want the most bang for your buck as far as storage and speed goes, pick up the 1 terabyte model. Now, if you go with the lower model, you're probably gonna be swapping games on and off of it quite often. What I recommend you do is store the games that you're actively playing on the SSD itself. And then any game you're not actively playing on a daily basis or every few days, something you've already beaten and you just refer to every now and then, keep that on your internal drive. This is a drive that's gonna make sure that your games load super fast. So my favorite example is Fallout 4. My load times on Fallout 4 and the Xbox One S were reaching about 40 to 45 seconds. I switched over to the WD Blue SSD, and those load times dropped to about 18 seconds. So over 50% faster. Anything I can do to save time on loading my games is worth it to me. Now, the second piece of equipment you're gonna need is an external SATA drive enclosure. So this enclosure will support an SSD as well as a hard disk drive, as long as it has a SATA connection on it. Now, the WD Blue is a SATA SSD, so that works fine. Now, this is all you need to do. You're gonna take your enclosure, you're gonna open it up. In the case of this one, you just slide up on the front and remove it, and that reveals the inside. As you can see, it's empty. And the only thing you can do with this, and this is why it's so easy, the only thing you can do with that SATA connector is hook up a SATA drive. So it really is that simple. You take your enclosure, you take the WD Blue SSD, and you slide the SSD into the enclosure like that. And it's now in. Now, of course, I need to put the cover on that. So I take the cover, put it on like so, slide it down, and I'm done. That's it. This right here is now an external WD Blue SSD drive. And again, you get the speed improvements of the SSD, you get the convenience of not having to open up your game console to replace the internal drive. All you do is plug this into USB, so you get a USB 3 cable, and again, make sure it's USB 3. You want to be able to take advantage of that speed, because there's no game console right now that supports anything above USB 3.1 Gen 1. And USB 3.1 Gen 1 is the same as USB 3.0. That part gets kind of confusing. Don't worry about that. All you need to know is you want to get an enclosure that supports USB 3.0 speeds. Plug in a USB 3 cable, plug the other end into your game console, and that's it. You're done. Your game console will ask if you want to format it in order to store games on it. Obviously, you're going to say yes. And then you can even set it as the default for installing and downloading games right to this drive. Any game that you're playing that's stored on the external SSD is going to pick up those speed improvements. And again, those speed improvements are vast. They are worth it. Now, it's probably obvious, but what it won't help you with is any games that are stored on another drive. So just because you have this plugged into your game console doesn't mean that the games stored internally are going to get any speed improvements. So if you have a gamer in your life, it's obviously the holiday season, as you can see. This is definitely something that any gamer can appreciate. So I'm going to leave a link below in the description to the WD Blue SSD that I used to speed up my game consoles, so you can pick it up for yourself or for someone else as well. There you have it, guys. Let me know what you think. Have you done this trick yet? Have you created an external SSD for playing your games? I know some of you guys have watched previous videos of mine and you've actually done it. If you haven't done it, is it something that you're thinking of doing? Is it too expensive for you? Let me know in the comments below and I'll meet you there for further discussion. All right, Tech Squad, be sure to click like on this one if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to click or tap on my face. If you haven't already subscribed, you can subscribe for free to stay up to date on all future video releases. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Until next time, I'm Andrew Edwards, and I'll catch you in the next video.